Hey YouTube, Ultra Magnum here, and today we're taking a look at Mastermind Creations' Fraudo, their masterpiece representation of Swindle. Before we get into the review, if you want to take a second to hit the subscribe button down below, that would be great. And here we go. In terms of accessories, we get a blaster, we get a shoulder cannon, and we get a connector piece to join the two together for alt mode. The sculpt is fairly basic. There's not much detail on any of them. However, in fairness, they are going for a toon look, so this is okay, because actually these are really well done despite the sparse kind of look to them. The paint, in particular the silver, but also the black, is really well applied, and there is a nice kind of feel to the plastic of these, so that is really good. Accessories, 8 out of 10. Hurrah! Poseability wise, he's got all the right bits in all the right places. The head is on a ball joint, which means you get full side to side and a good up and down. Arms and shoulders, the shoulders are a little tight, but you have excellent range all the way around. The arms are on a double pin for the elbow, so great range there. And also you get the full bicep swivel, no issues. The hands, the fingers are all fully articulated, however they do have a strange claw-like appearance to them. That doesn't bother me too much. The waist has got full swivel all the way around due to the transformation, but there is no ab crunch, so that's something to note. Legs, full back and forth, no issues. You have the individual hip skirts on either side, and there is a good knee. This is all tension joints, so hopefully they hold. They are very tight all over, so I think that's a good sign. The ankles have got a rocker side to side. There's not a massive amount side to side, but it is enough to do what you want to do. And also you get some back and forth. You can kind of manipulate the back heel spurs and the front as well for helping with that, if you like. Where this figure really impresses me though is the weight distribution combined with those heavily tensioned joints and the fact that you've got sturdy feet, because it just means you can do very easily, no real effort, kind of crazy poses, any crazy pose that you want. He's got great balance all over, and combined with the kind of the look, if you like, the way the character kind of looks, you can just do fun stuff with him that just looks good, to me anyway. But what really impressed me was the fact that you can do this, and I posted this on the TFW forum because I was so impressed with it, and I'm going to try this with all my masterpieces to see if they can recreate it. But look at that, the breakdancing masterpiece. Who even knew that was possible? Really good. Yeah, final score on Poseability, 10 out of 10. Scale wise, I think he's a smidge too big next to Op Leader, and then definitely too small for me next to Incursus. I mean, look at his little head, just poking down at the bottom of the screen there. In his own right, overall though, the figure is a bit too big in terms of this is a Jeep, it's Swindle, the smallest of the combaticons, so it'd be interesting to see how the others kind of scale up against him, and whether that's kind of whether that kind of holds true, if you like, scale wise. I mean, the issue is that he has to be three things. He has to be the leg, he has to be a good alt mode, and he has to have a good bot mode. So it's compromised somewhere along the way. So I'm not going to mark it down too heavily in terms of scale, but if you're going to display this in bot mode, it's a definite kind of disjointed kind of look to it, if you like, scale wise against everything else. So 8 out of 10. So let's do quality, sculpt, and then presence in that order. Quality wise, the plastic is really good. It's solid plastic, and it's got a good heft to it. It's not quite as chunky as the Incursus, so that was a bit of a disappointment. I was really blown away by that figure, but it is good nonetheless. and that holds true all over. There's nothing kind of flimsy or floppy or anything like that. Quite the reverse, in fact. So there are some places where this figure, things are too tight. So for example, the shoulders, these are really, really tight tension joints. And you can just see that as I'm moving the arm down, this shoulder here has a tendency to kind of move outwards with the pressure of that. So a couple of bits where you have to be careful, and there are some other bits as well. The legs are very tight, although it doesn't cause any pressure issues. It is there nonetheless. And also some of the kind of panels and folds that you have to do in the transformation, equally you have to be a little careful. The big one for me though is these tabs in the center here, which during the transformation you have to pull these out in order to move the arms and do stuff. And the issue is that this tab that these are on is so thick and chunky that this is really squarely wedged on there, and there's no kind of pressure point that you can hold on to pull that out without feeling like you're gonna snap this if you're not careful. So what you end up having to do is dig something into this slot here, which could potentially cause paint rub on the purple, which would be a real shame, to be honest. So definite kind of couple of design flaws, if you like, in there. In terms of paint, the paint that's there is absolutely excellent. So this, I mean, I think this is really a neat touch. This kind of metallic kind of turquoise looks really great. The purple is nicely applied, but there isn't much of it. It's all solid plastic, everything else, which is fine because it gives a consistent look to the beige Jeep color. So that's good. It just has it doesn't have quite that painted finished look that you kind of want on a masterpiece, but it is good looking nonetheless. Sculpt wise, if we do face first, so this is the standard face that it comes with. I don't particularly like this. It's kind of sour looking, and it just didn't make the figure look great. You pop the alternate face on, instantly bags of character, nicely detailed. It's pretty consistent with the G1 toon, which this figure is obviously trying to be very toon, so that's good. And the paint and the detail on the face is good also. Sculpt wise on the rest of the figure, there's not a tremendous amount in terms of bot or alt mode, but what is there is nicely done. There are some good details, like around the panel of the windshield there. You've got the wipers and stuff, so it is good detail wise and sculpt. Where this figure really shines though is in terms of presence, because once you pop the alternate head on and you combine that with the Poseability that we've already covered, he's just got absolutely bags and bags of presence. So it's really top notch in that respect for me. Final score, 8 out of 10. Okay, let's go. So I've got to be honest with this one. I don't particularly enjoy the transformation. I really don't. There's masterpiece moments. They're a positive. Let's start with a positive. Genuine masterpiece moments. How he gets from bot mode to alt mode, great. The engineering, if you like, and the design in the transformation is good, but the execution is really tricky, to be honest. I mean, there's too many bits where you kind of really forcing against the plastic, and I don't particularly enjoy that. Kind of like a fun transformation. I don't mind complicated or technical, but it has to be fun, and he's kind of let down in that respect. Final score, 7 out of 10. In terms of alt mode, I really like this. I really like the look. So there are kind of kibbly bits and things that are areas of uncleanliness, if you like. So there's stuff on the underside and the bit at the back. However, it is a Jeep, so it's kind of meant to be ugly in places, right? And you know, the bits that it does do with finesse, it does really well. You know, the front and the windshield, the fact that it's got a steering wheel, detailed paint on the inside, seats are in there. It's good. It is really good, I think. And the fact that it kind of has a great looking alt mode, as well as being an all-in leg, if you like, for Bruticus, I think hats off to it. So I'm quite impressed with this, to be honest. And also this is where the colours kind of come through for me. So although, you know, there's no paint on these, it's just plastic, it does the job. It's Swindle. This is a masterpiece Swindle alt mode. So 8 out of 10. Just for completeness, but not for scoring, here he is in leg mode. And here he is attached to Incursus. So I've fiddled around with this and there's no way of showing it stood up without it kind of toppling over. So here you go, just to give an indication of what this will look like. I think first impressions, it looks good, and this is going to look like a really good Bruticus, but it feels a little bit kind of long in the leg. That would be my only criticism, but you know, we can't judge yet because we don't know how the rest of this is going to turn out. So yeah, there we go. Just thought I'd show you that. So there we have it, 8.2 out of 10. And this is a great figure. I can absolutely recommend it, whether you want this as a standalone or you're going to go in for the set. Either way, it's good. It's got bags of character and posability in bot mode, and it looks great in alt mode, so tick in both respects. What's not so great is the in-between. The transformation isn't fun, and it's just let down by a few design kind of engineering pieces along the way, if you like. So a bit of a letdown in that respect. However, I'm looking forward to getting the rest of these guys and seeing what they look like. Really excited about this set, so definitely recommend it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel, and bye for now.